Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion's Hearthstone Arena. Sorry, Northernlion's Den, the Hearthstone Arena. Or Hearthstone Arena, Northernlion's Den, whatever. Asshole, just click the play button. I'm just guessing at what the commenters are saying right now. After a prolonged period of doing pretty nastily bad, we are up 3-1 on this mage deck. It's a pretty nice position to be in after 4 games. Obviously, there's a better one. Doggy style. No, 4-0 would be better, but we're not there. So we probably could have had a chance to win the game that I lost. I got rushed down a little too quickly by a hunter, or a little more quickly than I would have liked. Obviously, he played appropriately. And I have held off on using cards like Flame Strike as long as possible in these matches. Cards that can clear the board and then give me control again. Because I think we might mulligan all of these, honestly. It's a little bit risky to mulligan Razorfen Hunter, but I think Razorfen Hunter's already a pretty low-value 3-mana card. Okay, so we did get Fairy Dragon, which is actually a much better turn 2 play than nothing, or than our hero power, but we'll see. Anyway, we'll say hello to this Druid. Druids scare me a little bit because they can get a mana advantage really, really easily. What I was getting at before is that I've been holding off on using like my control cards until later into the game, and is he really going to use Claw on the first turn just to do 2 damage? That seems like a total waste to me, but whatever. What do I know, right? If he'd used Claw on the second turn, he could have killed Fairy Dragon. He might be able to kill Fairy Dragon regardless. Well, it's been a long time since I played a Druid. I don't even think I've used Swipe in any decks. As much as I love playing as a Druid, I just have kind of... I've gone with other classes lately. I want to get back into some Druid play. I think it's becoming a little bit popular again. For a while, it seemed to fall off a little bit, at least in my arena play. What's he going to do with 3 mana here? This is interesting. Shattered Sun Cleric. That's really weird for me because I can just kill it with Fairy Dragon, which is better than a 1-for-1 trade. The downside, of course... Like, he used Coin and a 3-mana card, and I can kill it for a 2-mana card. That seems like a good trade to me. Next turn, I guess we have Gnomish Inventor. I could also freeze him and then, you know, attack him, and then... I think it's better to just swap, honestly. And then Hero Power, and we'll Venture Company Mercenary later. Basically, I don't want to spend 2 mana to freeze 1 shitty minion. If I could just kill it and get better value. So next play is almost certainly going to be Gnomish Inventor, and then Venture Company Mercenary. And if I could pair that up with a Silence, I would be thrilled, of course. We'll see if I draw a Silence. This card draw may help me out here. Nope, Harvest Golem. Still a very good card in its own right. I really like Gnomish Inventor against Raid Leader because we can trade with him and still be alive. Maybe get another trade. No, he's going to become a 4-4 Taunt Raid Leader. Is he going to buff him up again? He's going to do like a 5-5? No, he's going to keep the Jungle Panther out there. Smart idea. Attack me directly. Not as thrilled about that. But what do I know, right? I think I'm going to wait on the... I'm going to wait on Venture Company Mercenary. I don't like the idea of using a Fireball. I would rather just polymorph this guy. And then he'll be a 1-1. And then I kill him. It's better than losing Venture Company Mercenary right away. We could also copy him, and then this would become a 3 attack with Faceless Manipulator. But Faceless Manipulator, I think, gets better the longer the game goes on. We could also summon Harvest Golem and Hero Power, but I don't think that's particularly good. We could freeze all enemies and Harvest Golem, which I don't think is particularly good either. I would rather just polymorph him for now. Polymorph, and then we'll kill the Jungle Panther now, for sure. And then end our turn. What I like about this, it might seem like I'm behind the 8 ball a little bit. I forgot that I would actually live through this. He'll probably swap the sheep for it. I have a card advantage. I'm lower on health than he is. I have decent control in my hand. He's probably going to draw 3 cards. Yeah, smart play. So much for the card advantage. That's maybe one of the few times I've seen Moonfire used decently well at all. And on this turn, we have 6 mana to do something with. That is potentially 4 mana and something else, but I think I'm just going to Venture Company Mercenary and hope that a Silence comes later. Venture Company Mercenary, one of those cards that, you know, if he deals with it, fine by me, because it's a positive to get that kind of debuff off the field. If he doesn't deal with it, I start doing a dumb amount of damage, and he probably feels pretty bad about that in the long run. Now, of course, I'm waiting to draw my most important card, Flame Strike. Hogger is super annoying. It seems very strange for me for him to summon Hogger, though, when I can just kill it. I guess he can't know that, but I can very easily just Fireball and then kill the taunt creature, and then he's burned his legendary. I think it's... And you, of course, if I drew a Flame Strike here, that would be even better, because I could kill everything without even having to resort to anything else. But yeah, we'll probably just Fireball the Hogger. That's the quickest way to get it off the field. We'll only have 3 mana left after that, but we can Hero Power the Sheep. Fireball Hogger. Could have done this the other way as well, but this is fine too. Hero Power the Sheep. And good. So we have a card advantage. We have a good creature on the field. We're lower on health. I have decent cards in my hand. I still need to draw a Flame Strike, though. My next ideal top deck is a Flame Strike or a Totem. Sorry, not Flame Strike or Totem. Flame Strike or Silence. Either one would be good. I'm not too worried about the... What is this, Druid of the Claw? Yeah, I'm not too worried about Druid of the Claw. I'm trying to think of why I'm not too worried about Druid of the Claw. I'm not really thrilled about the idea of swapping with him. But maybe that's okay. Maybe we swap with him and... well, if we're going to swap, then we should swap right away, and then I'll drop creatures. Because I'll be able to drop a whole lot more of them. I could become a copy, like Faceless Manipulator, become a copy of Venture Company Mercenary, then swap with him. Is that good enough? Okay, otherwise I could swap, and then this is 5. And this is 3, which I think is probably better than having just another Venture Company Mercenary. So sure, let's try that instead. And we'll save Faceless Manipulator in case he copies something amazing. In fact, I probably should have copied Hogger with it earlier. People are probably screaming at me. Hogger's one of my favorite cards in the deck, and I get to use it so rarely. So he took care of Venture Company Mercenary, so kudos to him for that. And I don't have my, my board clearing cards. I have 3 Flame Strikes coming. So hopefully, you know, what are our odds now? About 1 in 6 of drawing those on top deck every single time. And of course, there's other cards I could draw that would be beneficial as well. I still feel pretty good about this. I feel good, like, solid in this deck construction as well. I don't think I've made something that's unbeatable. So we Faceless Manipulated Gurubashi Berserker, which is a strange thing for me. He's just going to attack me directly. So he's going for kind of the rushdown here. I think with my hero power, I can murder Gurubashi Berserker and his Gurubashi Berserker and keep mine alive. And also get the Death Rattle from the Harvest Golem to go. So I could copy the other Gurubashi Berserker. I think that would be stupid, though. So what I'm thinking is I hero power Gurubashi Berserker. He does 5 damage. Then we swap. Yeah, okay. So we'll do this. And we'll become a 5/6. And then we'll hit you. And I'll become now a 7/4. 8/4. Forgot about that. And this, then we do swap here. There might have been a better way to do that to not get the Death Rattle moving, but obviously this Gurubashi Berserker becomes crazy now. And that is really tempting for me to then drop a, like a Taunt onto the field, or even a Faceless Manipulator. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a, my Divine Shield Taunt on the field, so that if he has, like, Starfire, I think that's what it's called, it does damage, like, to all minions, at least it'll only take the Divine Shield from the Taunt. And Gurubashi Berserker could do absolute fuck ton of damage on the next turn. And if it still lives to the next turn, I may Faceless Manipulate it. But we'll see. I doubt it would live. He's going to draw cards again. So I guess he plays a lot of cards and then he draws them again with Nourish. It's not necessarily a bad strategy. But with only 4 mana left, he's got to be pretty creative to come up with an answer to what we've got going on here. Ironbeak Owl has silenced my taunt. I really would have silenced Gurubashi Berserker on that one. Is he going to attack my Golem? Yep. Probably a good play. So, we're going to hit Gurubashi Berserker for sure with our own hero power. And then it's going to do 11 damage. And Flame Strike is fine. Yeah, I'm very glad that it's arrived. So I think the obvious answer here is we Flame Strike our own minion. It now does 11 damage. And I'm hesitant to copy it, but I still think it's pretty good. But if he wipes out our board, it causes us a problem, but it's not a huge problem. Let's try this out. I like it because it's funky, basically. So we'll do that, and now we have 2 11/3s on the field, and obviously we'll take this guy out of it just so it makes my life a little easier, and then we'll hit him for 11 damage. And almost immediately, we've more or less neutralized the health advantage that he has, and obviously we're in a position where we can kill him on the next turn. I fully expect him to have something that he can do to deal with what I've got out on the field right now. It looks more intimidating than it is, because if he has something that just deals, there are a couple of things that deal 3 damage, or if he has like a claw plus swipe, I think swipe does damage, like the damage of your weapon to all minions. At the end of your turn, deal 2 damage to all other characters. Yeah, that seems really good, but he's got to actually kill more than one of them. Otherwise, this, yeah, and then hero power and attack, and you know he might actually be able to pull this out. That's pretty impressive. He might not even have to hero power. Restore 2 health. All right, that's not a big deal. Yeah, so now he attacks Gurubashi Berserker, but it's going to cost him 11 health to do it. Oh no. You don't want to do that, because then all of a sudden on the next turn, because you don't have a taunt on the field, yeah, you got to do it that way, unfortunately for him. But he will take out both Gurubashi Berserkers here. Does it do 2 damage to all creatures, including his own legendaries, but not including himself? Gotcha. Okay, so it's pretty easy for us to kill the Baron Geddon here. We should probably get rid of our Sunwalker to do it. Yeah, I think so. So why don't we do this and that. So we'll swap. Now we have control of the field again. I think Water Elemental is smart to drop. And it could be Azure Drake. Azure Drake could be better. But I like the ability to freeze. Yeah, let's drop Water Elemental and Mirror Entity. And this is just in case he has another legendary. Apparently his deck is rife with them right now. And, you know, we have Frost Nova, good control. We have Flame Strike, good control. We have a Taunt, and Azure Drake, maybe not particularly strong. But if we bait him very strongly with this Mirror Entity, that's good news. We also have a small health advantage. It's not really that important once we're on, like, turn 11 of the game. But I think my strategy has worked out reasonably well so far. This guy's got a ton of legendaries in his deck. Oh, he's got 2. So he summoned Mechanical Dragonling. That means I get a 2-4, but I don't get the benefit of the Battle Cry. I don't get the 2-1. So that was a good play from him to make sure that, you know, he didn't play something amazing. Like if he had played the Senjin Shieldmaster, that would be more annoying for me for sure. And it depends what he does here, but a Flame Strike could be the right decision. Is he going to deal 1 damage, draw a card? Yep. Flame Strike could put me in a good spot here. Blizzard. Deal 2 damage to all minions and freeze them. We could Blizzard, Hero Power. Okay, maybe I like this better, actually. So I think we Blizzard, because I want to save the Flame Strike in case he does something amazing. Blizzard, like so. Kills 1 enemy, knocks the other one down pretty low. Hero Power. Then we swap the Dragonling mechanic for it. That's cool. And we can't really do too much else, but unless he's going to silence his own Dragonling mechanic, this freeze will stay, and we can Frost Nova next turn. It's getting to be kind of a tight game here. Obviously, I would love to do more damage. If I drew a Fireball, it's basically over as long as Water Elemental lives, but he's got, you know, his own cards to do whatever he chooses to do with them. The good news is, he's going to restore 5 health. Man, I don't know if I would agree with that decision from him, because I am absolutely going to Flame Strike this situation. It's just too juicy not to. Or, you know, we could actually Frost Nova first and then deal damage and then Flame Strike next turn. So we could, like, Frost Nova, freeze your butts. And unless all of those get silenced next turn, that's probably good enough for now. Drop a Taunt. Yes. As well as a Jungle Panther. This gives us more than enough damage to kill him next turn, probably. Because I freeze him this turn, and now it's like, okay, what do you do? With Flame Strike and Hero Power, we can wipe out everything that he's got on the board. But I'm, you know, waiting with bated breath to see what card he plays. It's a Taunt of his own. Again, Flame Strike just continues to become more valuable. So if he's not going to do anything else, this is like the ultimate Flame Strike target. Everything here is going to get on Frozen. And this might be us winning, actually. We can actually Flame Strike and Cone of Cold, but we won't need to. Hero Power you, and we did get hit a little bit by the Death Rattle from the Leper Gnome, but I think we have put ourselves in a position where it's very unlikely we lose this game at this point. He's only got 2 cards in his hand. He concedes. Okay, so we're going to go up 4-1. That's good news. That was a tougher game than I actually thought it would be, but we were relatively comfortably in the lead for much of it. This deck is really good. I like the construction here. Basically, I know Mage is considered overpowered by a lot of players right now. I don't necessarily disagree. Flame Strike is so good. You know, basically you just bait him into spending all of his resources to put cards on the field, and then you Flame Strike him, and all of a sudden, you know, those cards that were in his hand are now in the graveyard. So that works out pretty well. Plus, you know, so much freezing. Faceless Manipulator did some good stuff that forced his hand with the Gurubashi Berserker. Gurubashi Berserker did 11 damage by itself. Now we're going up against a Warlock, so it's very unlikely that we'll be able to keep a card advantage against this guy. I don't really like having Spellbender in our hand early. I'll keep Jungle Panther. This is very much a just in case. I considered mulliganing them all, but hopefully we'll get a 2-mana drop. Nope. So Jungle Panther on turn 2 might be what we have to go for here, but Warlocks usually start relatively slow unless they drop a Voidwalker, which is that 1/3 taunt, which is really goddamn annoying compared to every other 1-mana card in the game. Hello. So we're just gonna amass some cards for now, and that's good. And on this deck, you can kind of you can get away with suffering at the start of the game. Of course, I did say suffering just because he said your soul shall suffer. Your soul shall suffer. Surprisingly difficult sentence to say. But you can get away with it a little bit because I'm going to coin Jungle Panther here to maybe deal with whatever drop he throws out there. Please tell me he doesn't have like 20 Blood Imps in his deck. Although, it's worth noting, Flame Strike and Cone of Cold will be able to take care of Blood Imps if he spawns them. This is, the card that I put down is very much like please do not play a very good card, and then I'll just get rid of it. Okay, I don't even know what I was saying there. I thought about silencing Acolyte of Pain and then attacking it to stop his card gain. This might not be the worst play, but I much prefer silencing... I was going to say I much prefer silencing my own Venture Company Mercenary, but we could always Ancient Brewmaster it back. But it may also be better to Razorfen Hunter, swap, and then we can Ancient Brewmaster the Razorfen Hunter, and you don't get another Boar out of it. But what's better, the Boar or the Silence? Well, almost certainly the Silence. Sure, let's try this. The only thing that worries me about this is that we do put ourselves in a position where this thing's not stealthed now, and now we have 2 1-health creatures on the field. I'm not familiar enough with the Warlock deck to know if it's likely that he has a mass damage card that could deal with 5 mana here and ruin my Silence forever. But if not, next turn is almost certainly going to be Ancient Brewmaster. Yep, that's what I was concerned with. Well, next turn's going to be Ancient Brewmaster anyway. You know, truth be told... I'm thinking now if whether Ancient Brewmaster is actually the best. I think it is, because I'd rather not have to spend the mana to play Gnomish Inventor twice. But we'll put Ancient Brewmaster out there. You know, truth be told, you know, 4 mana to deal with a 2 and a 3 mana creature. I mean, I guess he got the value out of it, but I also stopped completely the card draw as a result of Acolyte of Pain. Oh, that's bullshit. I'm glad that he got rid of Acidic Swamp Ooze, although, truth be told, it's just a 3/2, because obviously I don't have any other creatures. Or, sorry, I don't have any weapons in my deck is what I meant to say. 4/4. Kind of prefer just throwing out my own Gnomish Inventor here, and we'll draw our own card. And we got our own Acolyte of Pain. Things are getting a little weird here. This is the first game where I felt very much kind of out of control right off the bat. He's creating a pretty nice Flame Strike target right now. But I worry about Spell Powers +1. Those are always really annoying. With 6 mana... I think we throw out Venture Company Mercenary, and if I can get him to trade both of his cards for it, that's fine by me. He might have a better option, but I'd like to get Venture Company Mercenary out as soon as possible, and that way I know whether it's going to die or whether it's going to become a focus of my strategy. And again, if he invests cards in killing it, that's cool too. So, is he still going to invest in... He's going to kill Gnomish Inventor? It's weird. What else is he going to... Oh, please don't... No! Oh, at the start of your turn, destroy it. Okay.
Mind if I roll knee?
Okay. So next turn, the Drake dies. Sorry, the Venture Company Mercenary dies. I still kind of really like a Flame Strike here. So I'm gonna do it. And then we'll swap you for you. And then I'll at least get 7 damage out of this guy. And then he'll be gone forever. But we are in a position now where obviously He has a decent amount lower health than me. Now, I have spent my control card, which I do not enjoy doing, but it's done. He's got a Stranglethorn Tiger and an Imp Master, none of which particularly concern me right now, but, you know, shit changes. Acolyte of Pain. Maybe. I don't want to send out Lord of the Arena, because he just trades 1-for-1 with it. I would rather bait him with maybe even like an Azure Drake or something, and then Cone of Cold does twice as much damage. So maybe Azure Drake, and we'll even send out like an Acolyte of Pain as well. Actually, the Cone of Cold is pretty good now. Does 2 damage to everything and freezes it. But then how do I kill it next? I guess you hope to draw like another Flame Strike. Otherwise he's going to swap and he won't even die. So yeah, sure, we'll Cone of Cold. I'm not thrilled with it. Acolyte of Pain is a really good card to get out as soon as possible, but the Stealth Tiger, or the Stranglethorn Tiger, is still stealth, so I'm going to have to, you know, hope that it doesn't live somehow. Like, maybe if I draw another Cone of Cold, I can drop Azure Drake, Cone of Cold again, and then the Cone of Cold will then deal 3 damage to each enemy, which would just be dumb. I think the buff from Imp Master will still work here. Okay, so 3 mana for effectively 4 damage. Relatively speaking, I guess. Flame Imp is an annoying card to deal with, that is. Young Dragonhawk. Again, this is the ultimate Flame Strike target. We'd kill, like, you'd get so many cards for 7 mana. Okay. Alright. Well, that's what we'll do then. This is great because he gets no value out of Stranglethorn Tiger. And he only has 3 cards in his hand. And he has a health disadvantage. So that might be ultimate top decking. He could still pull this out, though. Certainly, this is far from lost. But, you know, 1 Fireball puts him in a really terrible spot. But that's like a 1 in 15 top deck at this point. Void Terror. Most of the time, I don't think you're supposed to drop Void Terror before you drop other creatures. But maybe I'm mistaken. So you just got to think about this one logically. Faceless Manipulator is probably a pretty good play. I think we should also just hit him like crazy. Like this. And my reasoning behind this is that now he's at 1 health. So not only can he not life tap, but if he doesn't kill me on the next turn or heal himself, I win. Now, how do I stop myself from dying in case he can somehow double the abilities or double the damage that he's doing here? I drop a Taunt. Or, yeah, I think the Taunt's the best. And hopefully this will defend me. I'm not 100% sure that it will, but my guess is that he's going to have a really hard time dealing 17 damage on top of dealing with this Taunt as well. So that the Void Terror is going to get knocked out the field. It's going to be +4/+4. Can he find any way to like double the damage that this creature does now? Deal 1 damage to all other characters. Okay, so I'm going to win this one. He killed himself with the Dread Infernal. Okay, that was a game where I think I played well. Obviously, it went very quickly, but I was scared for parts of it, but we're up to 5-1 with this deck, and I'm going to call it quits on this video right now. Quit while you're ahead, they always say, but I'll be back tomorrow with another Hearthstone video. As always, thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, make sure to click the like button. It does give you an easy outlet to support me. I understand this is a bit of a shorter one, but I don't want to like lose one and then start the next episode and be 5-2 and then maybe bow out. But I'm very pleased to be 5-1 right now. That's an awesome position to be in. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more daily Hearthstone. And of course, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you next time.